Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to The Sphere. This episode is sponsored by
Sphere Exclusives. Looking for exclusive content from your favorite podcasts here at The Sphere? Head over to sphere.tv/Patreon and sign up today. True Digital Media Consulting. You're online right now and so are your customers, but marketing has to be a consistent journey. True Digital Media Consulting can help with your online ads, organic growth, and so much more. Contact us today at 832-934-4436 or visit our website at truedigitalmediaconsulting.com. Lady Ari Natural Hair Care. Lady Ari Natural Hair Care has been a prime destination for catering to naturally kinky hair in Houston, Texas. Give the experts a call today at area code 832-265-3792 or book online at ladyari.com.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Society Now, where we strive to bring you riveting content that is sure to incite and inspire and invoke riveting, great dialogue, interesting dialogue between you, your people, your friends, your families, your co-workers, the people at the water cooler, people at the gym, people on your IG in them DMs. My name is Kira Laws, and you can follow me on Instagram at The Modern Day Cindy. That's Cindy with the I, not a Y. And you can to my far left, my handsome co-host over there.
What's going on? It's your man, Kalen Laws, a.k.a. Senor Wapo. Do me a quick favor. Go to Instagram, go to Twitter, go to Facebook, and follow me at SENORGUAPO713. Holla at your boy. This is Society Now. We're excited that you are joining us, tuned in, and watching, listening, however you are consuming the content that we are giving you. We are appreciative of you. Thank you so much.
And you know, this is an amazing time for us because we're in the middle of March. Mm-hmm. We're going to the middle of March. We're beginning and ending. I guess this is the first full week of March. We just technically, but we're beginning the second full week of March, going into spring break, but in the not even smack dab, but right in the essence of Women's History Month. And today is International Women's Day, Kaylin.
It is.
It's so many women out there, amazing women out there. We just want to love on y'all today and give y'all some interesting information that you may or may not know. Facts, fun facts, historical information, people that we think are just bomb.com.edu.org. What do you think about it, Kaylin?
I think it's phenomenal that we are connecting and celebrating women, celebrating. It isn't a black woman thing. It isn't a white woman thing. It isn't a brown woman thing. It isn't, an Asian woman thing. It's a women. It's a celebration of women. And I tell you, we literally would not be here without women. So the fact that we're able to celebrate them, the fact that we're able to just really, really, excuse me, just really, really be connected to in everything women are doing. I think it's a phenomenal thing, and we just kind of want to give you guys a little history behind the month. This is a relatively new thing, Historically, African American minority people, period. We haven't had, in our short time in this country, we haven't had the best historical narratives, right? We know about civil rights. We know about what happened in World War II with the Japanese internment camps. We know historically what happened with Native Americans, the indigenous folks. We know what happened to them. The country was literally stolen from them. We know what happened with the Louisiana Purchase, right? We know Mexico went all the way up to to New Mexico and to Arizona and to Arizona and Nevada and things of that nature. So we've always paid homage, however you want to pronounce it, to those protected classes, to those folks. But I tell you, there's another, I guess protected class. I'm not even sure women are protected class, but there's another class that got it just as bad and is still dealing with so much. And that's our women, man. That's our women, and they've done so many different things to be a part of society, to help push humanity to the next level. Not just here in America. This is International Women's Day, and Women's Month is celebrated. And I kind of want to just talk to you about the history of it. So it has its beginnings back to the first International Women's Day in 1911. And then you fast forward all the way to 1978, and there was this school district in Sonoma, California, who wanted to participate in Women's History Week. And this was an event designed around the week of March 8th, which is International Women's Day. And in 1979, a 15-day conference about women's history was held at Sarah Lawrence College from July 13th to 29th. And its participants learned about the success when its participants around the country learned about the success of this event. It just exploded, right? It exploded. And then in February 1980, President Jimmy Carter, he issued a presidential proclamation declaring the week of March 8th, 1980 as National Women's History Week. So this was literally declared, right? In fact, President Carter, he issued this decree, and let me find it really quickly. He issued a decree saying that, well, not even President Carter. Congressionally, they created in 1981, responding to growing popularity of Women's History Week. Senator Orrin Hatch from Utah and Representative Barbara Mikulski from Maryland co-sponsored the first joint congressional resolution proclaiming Women's History Week. Congress passed their resolution, which authorized and requested the president to proclaim the week beginning March 7th, 1982 as Women's History Week. Throughout the next several years, Congress continued to pass these resolutions. And then by 1986, 14 states had declared March as Women's History Month. And then in 87, Congress passed, in 87, they known as Women's History Month. Between 88 and 94, Congress passed additional resolutions requesting and authorizing the president to proclaim March of each year as Women's History Month. And since 88, U.S. presidents have issued annual proclamations designating the month of March as Women's History Month. So, this is a real thing. It is a real thing. It is a real celebration. And we just kind of wanted to get this is an official thing. It's not something that's made up. It's a way for us to really give props to all of our women. And I want to, from the bottom of my heart, celebrate every woman that is in my life, especially the woman that's in my life, my co-host, my partner in time, Kira Monique Cross Laws. Thank you.
Thank you. And now, what do we get? I know that it's just honoring and acknowledging us as women. And I know we had this conversation about, it's interesting how the sacrifices of women, especially, early in our history as a world, was just seen as what you're supposed to do,
right?
What you're supposed to do, and how we have evolved, and how we just touch all areas of society, especially in the workforce, especially, just really making our presence felt. Leaps and bounds. We've done a lot, and it's really great that we've gotten to this place, especially in this country, that we acknowledge what women have done. So I wanted to really just quickly talk about some notable things that women have done throughout the world. I think there's some things that I thought it was like fun facts, 18 inventions that women created that we didn't know they created. I thought that would be good to talk about.
Let's do it.
Okay. I'm excited. I'm so excited. I feel like, people need to know these things because we do more than just have children, you all, and take care of homes. I mean, we have evolved. I mean, we actually were doing this stuff before then, but, history is what it is. 18 inventions by women. Did you know that the car heater was created by a woman?
Listen, y'all always be cold, so it makes sense to me.
The car heater was created by a woman.
Because you stay cold.
Well, I stay cold because, by fact, I don't know. I stay cold. But the car heater was created by a woman. Did you know that, let's see, what else is a fun fact? Monopoly, the game Monopoly, was created by a woman. The game Monopoly was created by a woman. And that's interesting. It really was, it was used to be called the landlord's game. The landlord's game. And it was created by a woman. Did you also know What's another fun fact? Let's see. I mean, so many things. The fire escape was created by a woman. The fire escape was created by a woman. I think that's pretty dang on phenomenal when you think about it, because who knew? Who knew we was out there scaling buildings like Spider-Man and whatnot? But again, we created the fire escape. It was vital for both public safety and also for smoking. People that smoked, that they needed a place to be able to go outside of the home. And a woman said, you know what, we need to create a place so people can step outside the home and not necessarily leave all the way out. And you think about it, at the time, especially in cities that were developing, a lot of people, especially on the East Coast, were living in these apartment area units. So the fire escape makes sense. Also, the life raft was created by a woman. That puts the movie, the Titanic, in perspective, you all. She said she was never gonna let go, and she that's probably why they had them life rafts, because she did let go. She did. It got cold, and she let him float on down. He froze to death. Oh baby, he was out of that thing. But the life raft was created by a woman. Solar heating was created by women for residential homes. The medical syringe, as a useful tool for doctors, was created by a woman. Modern electrical refrigerator was created by a woman. I mean, there's so many things I did not know. A modern electrical refrigerator was created by a woman. So that went from when our parents were talking about the ice box. A woman created the refrigerator in 1914, and she had received a patent for it and everything. The ice cream maker was created by a woman. Amazing. Who knew? The computer algorithm, originally how we put data into the computer system, was created by a woman. That's amazing. We are very smart, very, very smart people. Telecommunications technology, anything you can really think of, a woman probably has had her hand in. The dishwasher was created by a woman. Wireless transmission technology was created by a woman. CCTV, I mean, that's closed circuit TV. So closed circuit TV was created by a woman. The paper bag was created by a woman. Isn't that amazing? Like, things that I don't know. I mean, of course, everybody has a hand in building society, but things that I guess for years women didn't get credit for because they were just women. You know what I mean? And now we actually get history about things that they actually did to actually help society. And I think that's amazing. Central heating, that's back to that heating situation. The Kevlar was created by a woman. Computer software was created by a woman. And what would you know? Beer was created by a woman. And we usually don't drink it. Beer was created by a woman. I want to know, what was the thought process about creating beer? Was she trying to get her spouse drunk? Like, what was the thought behind that, y'all? I mean, a woman creating beer, like, was she drinking it with her friends and like until her husband came home? Like, what was the real story behind beer? But beer was created by a woman, and it was something that they thought it was the fermenting process that ancient women created, and it led to beer. I think that's amazing. I would have never thought that. Did you know that, Trisea? No. Trisea is our producer, and she's amazing over here. So that was 18 inventions created by women, which goes to, and that's just 18 of many, I'm sure hundreds, even thousands of things that women have created, but have helped shape our society today. So I'm excited about sharing more of that with y'all. But even more than that, I'm going to share this special part of the advertising. This portion of our show is sponsored by the Sphere Exclusive Team. Looking for exclusive content that you can't find anywhere else? Look no further than our Sphere exclusives found only on Patreon. We've got behind the scenes shots happening daily at the Sphere Podcast Studio. Each show on the podcast networks curates episodes that are only delivered to Patreon subscribers. Plus, we deliver the show live from start to finish in our Discord server that's exclusive to our Patreon family. Sign up today at www.thesphere.tv/Patreon to join our $2, $5, or $8 Patreon tier and get access to all the exclusive content we offer at The Sphere. Again, that website is www.thesphere.tv/Patreon and join us at the $2, $5, or $8 Patreon tiers. Look forward to seeing you soon. Now, Facebook. Look, Facebook, how are you all doing out there, Facebook? What's going on? I'm excited that you all join in with us today. I'm excited that you all have been watching and tuning in. Let's see who's on Facebook with us today. Let's see what's going on. Okay, everyone, say hello. Hi, everybody on Facebook world. Thank you for... Thank you, Facebook Live. Thank you for tuning in, and I'm hoping you all get a chance to subscribe to get the rest of our show. Subscribe to our show on all the major platforms, including iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and anywhere else podcasts are found. Review our show across all platforms and help us to build better content for you. Share the entire show with your family and friends right from the Sphere Podcast Network Facebook page. And last but not least, support our mission to bring enriched and inspiring content each and every week. You can do a one-time donation at thesphere.tv/donate or get exclusive content almost daily via our Patreon tiers. Sign up at www.thesphere.tv/Patreon. And we are back. Whew, that was a mouthful. So much to provide you all in a short amount of time, but we're so happy we can do this. Now let's get back into Women's History Month, celebrating International Women's Day today. So some of the women that we look at from a perspective of who've changed the world, I mean, there's so many out there, but even just recently we had the privilege of watching what people will call us our forever First Lady 44, as she's been on her major book tour, the Becoming book tour, and she was just here in Houston last week, and people have given it rave reviews. Now she has shared her life story via her book about her background, some facts about her, things that people may or may not know about our First Lady or our forever First Lady. And I think it's amazing that Michelle Obama has touched the world in such a unique way. So let's for number one, she is born Michelle LaVaughn Robinson. She's 55 years old. She was married to and the wife of the 44th President of the United States. She was the first African American First Lady, and she has made waves. She talks about in her book tour, she talks about how it's important to overcome odds. She talks about how she had to, of course, we heard her say, when they go low, you go high. That was one of her famous quotes. But it has so much more meaning because she talks about, some of the attacks that happen when you are under a microscope and how that really affects how people view you, and they are waiting for you to do something that's out of order. She talks about when people called her a ape or a gorilla. She really has set the bar and the standard for class and success. So I think in terms of us as a nation, but even as a world, we have been able to see firsthand a woman with class and grace, such as our forever First Lady, Michelle Obama. And I know that many people have looked to her as not just the 44th First Lady, but they also look to her as the bar. So what do you have to say about that, Kaylin?
Listen, not only is she's not the bar, she's the 2x4. You understand what I'm saying? I think that no, but seriously, I think that the grace, the class, the things that she was able to accomplish in the face. First of all, it's historic, right? Her being a First Lady is historic, as the first African American First Lady, who is honestly qualified to hold many other positions, as many other First Ladies were as well. When I think about how strong Barbara Bush was, and how strong Jackie Kennedy Onassis was, and so many more. But First Lady Michelle Obama, former First Lady Michelle Obama, Michelle, as we like to call her, she set the bar. She was the standard, and when and it's honestly kind of unfair. We've given Melania, we being Society America, has given Melania a hard time. And I'm not gonna front. She hasn't really done that bad. If you really think about it,
she did the best she did because she could.
She's coming behind Michelle.
Well, and I don't.
You understand what I'm saying?
I don't even think people
and getting overshadowed by her husband too, for real.
But I'm saying I don't think people's a dislike of her, if it is truly, I don't think people's dislike of her is truly genuine. I think a dislike of her is because of who she's married to.
Agreed.
And that overshadows what she could possibly bring to the table.
And you know, we were
and following President Obama.
Now I'm not going to front.
The Obama family.
You know exactly. You know, I'm not going to front. She flies on.
She dresses to the nines.
Oh my Lord.
Listen, I'm gonna give a hand clap for that. Listen, I want to raid your closet, Melania. I want to come
she's
through.
She's a supermodel. So
listen,
I mean,
your closet is everything.
And she's married to a billionaire, so she can afford anything in the world.
That's true.
You know,
Tis
custom
true.
to off the rack. But I think she's from a comparison game. She gets it hard because she came behind. You know, Michelle.
I don't even, but I really truly understand on this. I really feel like it's not because she came behind him; it's because who she's married to. I think you couple those two together, and people are like, "How?" But they innately, I think, from what I'm seeing and reading, you know, and I've even done it. Yeah, but she ain't no Michelle. You know, people say that. Oh,
people say that.
But do you think they would say no? But I know they say that she's no Michelle. But I think they would. She would get a little bit more slack if she was married to someone else. I feel like
I agree,
but it's couple those things together, and it's just not a good.
I agree. No, I agree. But I'm saying, but she's still coming behind Michelle, and anybody coming behind Michelle, you know what I'm saying? That's anybody coming behind Michelle.
Shell from
listen.
Like we know you like this,
right? Shelly, what's up, Mama?
Shelly.
Listen, I'm glad that she spent 8 years in the White House. You know,
she cultivated a new standard.
She
really did. I mean, and she definitely helped a lot of people on an international stage, but also locally come to grips with being your true self. And being okay with what you like. I mean, she never, you know, she liked what they liked.
Yeah, and it's amazing when you start talking about Michelle Obama. Because everybody, and even President Barack Obama, everybody was like, yeah, you know, we love, not everybody, obviously, but folks were like, we love Barack, or we don't, or we even dislike Barack. Oh, but his wife is, oh man. You know, it was very, very rare outside of the overt far left racists. You know, they're going to say anything about anybody black, anything bad about someone black. But it was very, very rare that you had that kind of sentiment touted about First Lady Michelle Obama.
Yeah. Now this is another. So she was on like a national stage, really international stage, but locally, let's shout out those people who are making waves. And I mean, I know we have Kamala Harris is making waves. We talking Tamika Mallory's making waves. The senators, you know, in New York are making waves.
Right.
The Congress people in New York. I mean, the women that were, you know, the huge. Women, the group that came into Congress this year, dominated by women making waves. The 19 here in Houston making waves, and also let's include Kim Ogg to that.
Absolutely.
So who's Kim Ogg?
And so I want to, for those of you who are not in Houston or maybe in Houston and just really don't understand what's going on or really follow it like that, Kim Ogg is our current Harris County DA, right? So let's talk about Harris County for a second. Harris County is the county that Houston is inside of. However, Harris County is also the third largest in terms of population county in the country, rather, for almost over 4 million people in Harris County via the last census. And it's the second largest county in the country in terms of mass, land size, behind Dade County over in Miami.
I'm on Dade
County. It's a huge, humongous county. You know, all kind of infrastructure, all kind of businesses, all kinds of crime. It is what it is. And so Kim Ogg, and again, we're the most diverse city. Harris County is one of the most diverse counties, if not the most diverse county in terms of ethnicity in the country. And Kim Ogg is in charge over the law and order from that perspective, right? Over the crime and punishment is what they really say. And you know this better than me. Well, one of the things she's done, first of all, she's the first woman elected in 40 years to that office. And she's also gay. I believe she's the first gay woman
in that office. Okay, because I know we've had a gay mayor.
We've had Mayor Anise Parker was the first gay mayor,
right?
Of Houston. Gay woman. I don't know about gay, but gay woman, lesbian woman. Mayor. But you know, so she has that, right? So you know, we're all about LBGT inclusion. LGBTQ inclusion in our government. You have to have it. But that's history making as well. But one thing she's doing here in this red state, even though Houston is blue in terms of its policy where it leans, she's actively decriminalizing marijuana. and really, really fighting hard to get people from being held. People are getting released. She's letting people get released on ROR. A lot, which is released on their own recognizance, meaning that they don't necessarily have to pay these stupid bonds and stupid fines to crowd the jails. If it's a low-level drug offense, giving alternative sentencing options and alternative pleas, and not wanting to give college kids who may have, a dime bag of weed. You know what I'm saying? It's just
because when you put those type of charges on people for something as
you set them up for failure.
I'm not saying that if it's illegal, it's illegal, but marijuana is not known to be a violent drug. So when you put those type of charges on people, it follows them. They can never shake that. So I'm glad that she's trying to decriminalize it. I'm glad that she's making efforts to, because it's not,
and it's working.
I mean, because you think about the wave that's going on in our country right now. A lot of states are embracing this, legalizing marijuana for recreational use.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the case, I would hope that a lot of states would turn back the criminalization of it, and actually also clear records for people who have that.
No, for sure. So Kim Ogg deserves all of the credit here in Houston for doing that. And people are pissed. People are upset. But she's like, listen, I ran on it. She believes in that, most of the offenders who have the low-level drug offenses are non-violent. They come from great homes and families. They've never had a criminal history. These are not threats to society or threats to the public at large. So why put them in the system or let them be in jail for X Y amount of years and potentially become a threat to society because they've had to turn into something to survive in such in those cages, right? So, she's working really hard. She even just had a huge event last week that's addressing barriers to employment for ex-offenders, and had about 40 employers who actually, they weren't just getting resumes, they were hiring, and they hired a couple hundred people on the spot. She's really about the people, so I'm excited about Kim Ogg and everything she's doing in Harris County. And I'm also excited about this little old company by the name of True Digital. They are sponsoring this portion of the show. You're online right now, and so are your customers. But the question is, how do you actively reach them? Well, marketing has to be a consistent journey, and we're here to walk with you every step of the way. True Digital Media Consulting can help with website development, online ads, your business reputation, and organic growth on social media and search engines. Give us a call today to discuss a customized strategy for your business at 832-934-4436, or send an email to info@truedigitalmediaconsulting.com. Mention the Sphere to receive a free 30-minute strategy consultation. True Digital Media.
Now I want to talk about, well, that's amazing that True Digital's doing all that. I think that's amazing. And even more amazing is some of the history I found about how women have evolved, or how society has embraced women throughout the centuries, right? So I wanted to share this with you all, these things that you may or may not know. So out of the fact retriever, the first thing was the word vagina was first used on film in a Walt Disney production called The Story of Menstruation. And it was in 1946. It was a Walt Disney production called The Story of Menstruation, and it's the first time they used the word vagina, and they were trying to explain what happens to a woman's body during the time of menstruation. I think that's interesting that it happened to be a Walt Disney film, because we don't know Disney films to be that way, right?
Right.
We don't. I mean, the thought that a Disney film would even say vagina is just interesting, but all the way. But so. That's
big. What year did you say?
1946.
So you got to think about where society was regarding a cultural and or sexual revolution. Yeah. Right? Being able to say the word vagina on open public forums and broadcasts was huge.
Absolutely.
I tell you, it's to be able to have the freedom and fearlessness to do such a thing, and it be. Did a woman say it, or was it a man?
Well, it didn't say who said it in the movie, but apparently this was a movie. It was real, and this is what they were talking about in the movie: what happens to a woman's body during this time of menstruation.
You have to listen. I love it.
I think that's funny.
I love it.
Okay, here's another one.
Talk to me.
Here's another one. Okay, let me scroll down. In 1770 bill proposed in the British Parliament suggested that any woman wearing makeup should be punished for witchcraft. Everybody would go to jail these days. I mean, if this was a real thing, at 1770, any woman that was found to be wearing makeup would be punished for witchcraft. Do you know how many women would be in jail right now? Y'all wouldn't have anybody to choose from.
Yeah.
It'd be a lonely place.
And that's interesting because when you look at, if you kind of dig into the history of, makeup, it women being made up is something that's been around for millennia. But it was really, really, a lot of folks say it began. I'm not sure about this, but there's the idea that the earliest signs of it came from the motherland.
I can believe
right?
that.
When you think about the pharaohs, right, which is point in fact, it is in Africa. All right. Let me say it one more time. It is in Africa. Egypt is not the Middle East. That's Africa. When you look
Get
at
us right then.
when you look
Gather
at
us.
yeah, no. When you look at a lot of
Gather us.
our tribal ancestors over in the motherland, people say that that's where it kind of came from, and so to be able, but people have been, I guess, brainwashed that all kinds of tribal face makeup is demonic or some sort of witchcraft or
Yeah.
and there may be some truth to
But
that
not
being
all
a
of
part
it.
of it, but that's not all of it. So
Right.
that's interesting. But it just goes to show how controlled the women were
Yeah.
throughout history.
Absolutely. Now, did you know this one? The two highest IQ scores recorded in history belong to women.
I don't doubt me at
The
all.
two
I don't doubt that
highest
at all.
IQ scores are recorded in history belong to women. Now, I would have not known that because we talk about Albert Einstein, we talk about all these other people. We never talk about these women. I never knew that. I never knew that the top two IQ scores belong to women. Also, I mean, everyone might know this now because we talk now. This is a hot topic that keeps coming up. Women earn more than 60% of all college degrees in the United States.
Yeah.
That's something that constantly is mentioned.
But make 78 cents on the dollar.
I think, or was it 72 cents?
One of them.
72 cents on
Regardless,
the dollar.
it's too much.
It's too low, right? Too low, considering it seems like we're becoming more educated than our male counterparts.
It's not about seeming. It is. It's the truth.
Okay, this is something I also did not know because they did not teach me this in sex ed or health class. Okay.
I ain't take sex ed.
Okay. A woman's clitoris.
I didn't.
This is just information, right? A woman's clitoris grows throughout her lifetime. This means that many women in their 40s and 50s have stronger orgasms than they did during their
That's why.
teens and 20s.
I heard the part B of that women as women age, they
Yes, but I didn't
the
know
libido
why.
and sex is a lot more pleasurable. That's because
Yeah. Did you know that? Well, I did not know this. I mean, this is a lot of information about women and
let's talk about it. This is
lot
a
of
woman's show.
this.
We
I mean,
celebrating
okay.
y'all.
This is more information. In ancient Greece,
Uh-huh.
in ancient Egypt, Greece and Japan, women used softened papyrus. How do you say?
Papyrus.
Papyrus lint wrapped around wood and paper to absorb menstruation bleeding. So that was the first tampon.
But it was wooden.
It was papyrus lint wrapped around wood and
Oh my
paper
God.
to absorb menstruation bleeding.
It was wood though. So
That was the first tampon.
Let me shut up.
Oh my gosh, you are! I feel like this is gonna be an out of order statement. Out of order. It is estimated that 6 to 10% of incarcerated women are pregnant, with as many as 1,400 births in prison annually in the U.S.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
That, that's a whole conversation. We need to really put a pin in that and come back and talk about healthcare
inside of,
and talk about that, because I feel like we kind of touched the surface on this. What do you do when someone enters your jail pregnant, or what do you do when they've been raped inside of jail and they wind up pregnant? Because it's not like they have options, right? And have these babies, and a lot of times these babies are either put into the system if a family member cannot take care of them.
Right.
That's troubling. 1,400 births.
Wow.
1,400. I mean, what do we say about that? I mean, I don't know.
I mean that it's some people might look at it as only 1,400 births, and I don't know the numbers of the amount of women who are incarcerated in the U.S. It's probably less than 1% of men, just because women don't commit crimes to that degree. But the fact that you have a potentially 1,400 kids a year could potentially enter the system because of what their parent did, right? And you look at the oftentimes negligent in subpar medical conditions of prisons, right? Whether they're state or federal, it doesn't matter. Most are underfunded. Most of the money that's going to them aren't going towards health care, but it's going towards infrastructure and the pockets of the privatized, especially here in Texas, the companies that own these prisons. It's a shame and it's terrible. I really want to dig into that, and we can have a great show.
Let's talk about it, because I wanted to mention some of these. Like, all these things are not happy facts, but these just show that although we're celebrating women, we have a long way to go in terms of ensuring that we are treated equally. We get the same amount of protection, money, and not from a historical protection like chase women, and you know what I mean, like that whole, women can't do, I have my whole little issue with that, but more of a, what are we doing to ensure that we are living the fullness, and having equitable health care, the same amount of, resources are provided to us that aren't necessarily under the guise of helplessness, right? And so this is really interesting. Okay, here's another one. A 43-year-old female school teacher was the first person to ever ride over Niagara Falls in a wooden barrel.
Okay, there it is. I'm all about that, being an action junkie.
I mean, she was an action junkie in a wooden barrel.
Did she survive?
Yeah.
We've been to Niagara Falls in a wooden barrel. Wow. Shout out to you, sister.
Oh, this particular thing says that our facts are wrong. It says, on average in the United States, full-time working women earn 80 cents for every dollar earned by men.
It might be. I thought I was really comfortable in my 78 cents assertion, and that may have been older. That may have been an older thing that it's still, it don't matter. Still 20 cents less on a dollar, and then when you get to higher levels, it gets even less.
Did you know that women were not allowed to watch the first Olympic Games in Hera, but they were allowed to compete in foot racing events?
I mean, the first Olympic Games, yeah, that makes sense to me, considering when it was.
Was it bloody?
It wasn't bloody. It's just, it was at a time when women weren't supposed to be.
But they can compete, though.
Yeah, but you can't watch.
But what sense does that make?
I don't know. What sense does any of this make? What sense does 80 cents on a dollar make? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's just,
I need answers, Kaylin.
Patriarchy has run rampant through our world.
Well, I this is something that everyone needs to know. Say for the people in the back, pornography in the 19th century is what brought high heels back into women's fashion.
Wow, really?
I can believe it.
In the when? What when?
In the 19th century, brought
high 1800s. Okay.
Brought high heels back into women's fashion.
Well, yeah, because the Victorian age, yeah, they were definitely. Queen Victoria definitely had high heels.
Right, and then
their version of her high heels.
Yes.
Okay. Come on, Pornhub. What?
There are 5 million stay-at-home women in the United States compared to 209,000 stay-at-home men.
Wow.
5 million stay-at-home women compared to 209,000.
That's the size of Harris County. Bigger than Harris County in terms of population.
5 million stay-at-home women.
That's an interesting. So let's dig into that for a second. So
how does that work?
Well,
5 million women compared to 209,000 men.
Remember what I just said.
What's the math on that?
Patriarchy is ridiculously strong still, even in 2019, right?
Yes.
And so it's. I know a lot of guys that are like, "Yo, I don't want my woman or my woman." I'm from the South, so a lot of them say woman.
Oh, bless Jesus.
I don't want my woman, my lady, to work. I want her to stay at home. I want her, and there are a lot of women who subscribe to that, and that's fine.
No, and I think it's okay. It's totally okay if you want to do that. That's fine. It's just the other side of that coin, though.
Yeah.
How does that?
Oh yeah, no, you're not. Most men are not going to be stay-at-home dads. It's just not going to happen. I don't see that changing for a millennia.
It's probably, but yeah, I just 5 million women. But this, okay, so that
versus
just
200,000. You said 200,000.
200,000. So that gives me more context because I hear, and this we definitely have to have another conversation. Like there's certain things on this list I want to just kind of call out and have a totally different discussion on because this goes into background, ethnicity, education, experience, things like that. It goes into that. I mean, things that we have a conversation about all the time because people always talk about what the different ethnic backgrounds are doing in their households versus, white, black, Hispanic, non-Hispanic, things like that. And how I don't necessarily know if it's 5 million. Who are the 5 million? That's the conversation I want to have. And how are they surviving?
Listen, I tell you, we're talking about these 5 million women who are stay-at-home wives or mothers or what have you. Mm-hmm. Some people, that's really natural. And maybe you're a natural woman as well.
Are they getting their hair
done? Y'all need to be.
But they natural.
But
they still need to get their hair done.
And if you need to get your hair done and you're natural, this portion of the show is sponsored by Lady Ivory Natural Hair Care.
Come on.
We have a kinky curly style in mind. Well, Lady Ivory Natural Hair Care has been a prime destination for catering to naturally kinky hair in Houston, Texas, and beyond for over 5 years. Clients come from all over the world to receive the ultimate experience for their natural hair care needs. Lady Ivory Natural Hair Care has been featured in media outlets, including Young Black Professionals Magazine, GMT Internet Radio, The Sphere, and more. Your unique vision can be brought to life Your unique vision can be brought to life complete with helpful tips for maintaining your hair. You'll walk into the salon with the warmest greetings, complimentary refreshments, and knowledgeable stylists that promote total beauty from the inside out. Our goal is to unveil your kinks one curl at a time. Unveil like you're unveiling mine. Give the experts a call today at 832-265-3792 or book online at www.ladyivory.com. I'm going to make an appointment to get my curls unlocked.
We want to see your natural wave pattern.
Pat my
natural
weave,
wave pattern.
Pat my weave.
Wait, before we even move on from this, I just want to say okay, just 2 more things.
Let's do it.
In the U.S., it's estimated that approximately 10% of Protestant Christian pastors are female. 10%.
That's a great. We gotta have a show on that.
Yeah, for sure. We want to talk about that. Let's dig into that,
please.
And on average, women live 2 to 5 years longer than men, a fact which holds true in every country in the world. This isn't limited to human beings. Female orangutans and chimpanzees also outlive their male counterparts. What does that say?
Please bookmark that site. We got 13 shows from that site right there.
This site is amazing.
Yeah, like we can really dig into some stuff anthropologically from that, man. From all of those things, for real.
Okay, so let's talk about this. So transitioning back to people making moves, women making moves throughout history. Let's talk about some of the trail finders and trailblazers in entertainment, arts, Hollywood. So of course we've had people that have been doing it forever, ever. And in our lifetime, we've seen people ascend to great ranks, especially women. We've seen Oprah Winfrey hit the $1 billion mark, and she's become everybody's. If we want to be a woman as a billionaire, wow, she is the person, right? Mm-hmm. She came from being told that she wasn't fit for journalism to actually going off, leaving a TV show, a news show, to pursue TV journalism and kind of being questioned, are you sure you can handle it? What are you going to do? She's like, pretty much, I'm going to keep doing it until I gain success. Her stick-to-itness had paved the way for so many people behind her because of what she did. I think she opened the doors for a lot of other women, not just in journalism, but in being a face in history, for TV and radio and television, and I guess women really claiming or getting their just due for what they worked for. So who else is over there blazing trails in Hollywood? You
got Ava DuVernay.
Okay.
Right. Ava DuVernay. And if you don't know who she is, she's a phenomenal director, producer, born in the early 70s. She's from Compton, California.
Come on, Compton.
West Side.
Where you from, fool?
Right.
Compton.
Okay. And she's known. If you don't know who she is, I'm sure you know a lot of her works. Selma.
Right.
The 13.
Yeah.
Right. And the one that what's the one that just
Forward
came out?
Forward Movement.
Oh,
but that's her film and television production company, but she's also working on some other things.
Right. She just did A Wrinkle in Time.
Okay.
She was commissioned by the Smithsonian African American Museum of History and Culture to actually create a movie for the opening.
Oh wow.
So she's a history maker. She has her own film company and let me find it. Her own film company called, give me just Un momento. Well, I can't find it, but she has her own film and production company. She founded the African American Film Festival movement, which is her own company to distribute films made by or focusing on Black people. She's just doing so much. The company rebranded itself under the name Array, promising a new focus on women's filmmakers. So she wants to, because they're not like, if you look in Hollywood, listen, in America, period, when you get to higher ups, in terms of higher in a professional in a profession outside of like modeling or something beauty related, women just aren't you know this, are solely and wholly underrepresented.
Absolutely.
And so as a film producer and director, you don't see too many women for major projects doing that, right? For blockbuster projects doing $100 million in the box office, projects with these huge budgets. Netflix just gave her a deal, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Was it $150 million deal or something like that?
It was a big deal.
It was a huge, humongous deal. And again, you just don't see that too often. And the reason why I think it's important is because we need our young girls, I don't care what ethnicity, we need our young girls to see that it is possible. We need women like this to break down barriers in terms of the entertainment space, because entertainment falls into free speech. Yeah. And that's how we connect with a lot of different things. Yeah. Right? And, you know what I'm saying? So we just need that.
And I think, you hit on something, and let's kind of backpedal into this. A lot of things that women are doing right now is a form of activism. Mm-hmm. A lot of things they're doing. Ava DuVernay is a form of activism. Them getting these big contracts. I mean, we saw like last year, I guess Coachella, Beyonce did her thing, but the year before that, it was her thing that she did at Super Bowl, which was a form of activism. She put spotlight on Black history in a way of showcasing it on Coachella about the history of what the college experience is like from an African American perspective.
But even when you back up, she did the same thing regarding feminism.
Right.
Yeah. With a visual album. It was a feminist movement album.
Right. And so people are taking these lanes that they're in and using them to actually speak out or really talk about some things. Other activists that were in the Hollywood space was Josephine Baker.
Absolutely.
We found out she was a spy.
That's the dopest thing ever.
She did her thing big time.
She literally worked for the CIA.
I mean, she went from the U.S. to France, and she was doing big things. Then she came back and, had her own, started adopting babies. A lot of other people who have done stuff.
She was the first Angelina Jolie, y'all.
Right, for sure. But Mary McLeod Bethune, she was a racial justice activist who sought to improve education opportunities for African Americans. We look at, let's see, who else? Beverly Bond, Black Girls Rock, amazing.
That is
I'm waiting for my invitation. I am waiting for my invitation about this, but I need to be a part.
Yeah, no. What's so dope to me about Beverly Bond is Beverly Bond. Forgive me. She's in her late 30s. So she's young, right? She also or early 40s. But she's all right. She's in our generation. The very first Black Girls Rock drew 2.5 million viewers live, and then the rebroadcast, another 1.5, 1.7 million, and it started in 2014, and it's the first show on television that solely celebrated African American women, and women. Period.
It's for women, but African American women specifically. And I think
dope.
Even that was a form of activism.
Absolutely,
because it was necessary for us to showcase us in a better light. Because a lot of times when we rely on media to only tell our stories, the story is always tilted in a way that makes it plays up into a negative stereotype.
No,
so
sure.
It's very important. It's a list and on and on.
Ida B. Wells is another big one out, in Chicago. Shirley Chisholm. Absolutely.
So many. Angela Davis. And of course, we're naming those in our African American experience, but there's so many more that are not African American that are due honor this month, every day, actually.
Janis Joplin is one of them. I think off the top of my head, was an entertainer and activist, right?
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. So, there's so many more. And I just wanted to just take the time to acknowledge those persons, those women, because they've done so much to push the movement forward, come out of the negative stereotype and push it forward for a better day.
Yeah, in a better world. Listen, and there's one more name that's been left off, and I really want to talk about it, and that's Kira Monique Cross-Laws.
Oh, you're so sweet.
People really don't know the pedigree and the things that this woman has done in the community, and from on one-to-one really helping and mentoring people. and giving back on a weekly basis. And so I just celebrate you.
Oh, baby, that's so sweet. Oh, and on that note, he's so sweet. But on that note, we're gonna have to. I can't let y'all. Let the song cry.
Yeah, Jay-Z, can you see it coming down my eyes?
So I gotta let the song cry. So before and after, we're just gonna have to let you go. But I we can kind of. There's so many things we could just jump into for this show. I don't know. We just, like you said, scratched the surface on so many things.
We didn't do that.
We didn't even scratch the surface
Because women are so dope. Let me get on my soapbox just for a second. Let me give me 30 seconds to do a soliloquy, okay? Women are so dope and you guys are so phenomenal, right? I need you to go home and if you're a man or a woman, I need you to kiss your mother. I need you to call your female cousins. I need you to talk to the women in your life and tell them that you appreciate them and that we would not be here without your support, your love, your guidance, your accountability, your correction, all of that, because we need women. Women, you guys are the best of us. You're the fabric of our society. Listen, James Brown said it best. He said it's a man's world, but a man will be nothing without his woman, right, on his arm. So and you don't necessarily have to be on a man's arm. It just I'm using that as a metaphor to say that we need you and we need to celebrate you more. And I guarantee you, here at Society Now, we will continue to always uplift all of the women across the world.
I love it. And on that note, we will see you all next time for the next episode. My name is Kira Lawson. You can follow me on Instagram at TheModernDayCindy. That's Cindy with an I, not a Y.
And go to your phone and type in SENORGUAPO 713. That's Senor Wapo. We'll see you next time here on Society Now.